Ba, 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 boop. Going very live. Nice. Okay. Well, I thought I'd do my stream before I do a major update on my computer, because the update usually takes quite a while. So I thought I would do the stream first, and that. So, but it's good. It's going to be the same thing that I did on Wednesday on StreamYard. It's just I'm not going to really go into such great detail, and well, I might. I don't know, and that. But see, there's one big misconception about what it means. And the funny thing is, I'm not crazy about using the word possessed, and that, because to me, if a medium is possessed, bless you, brother, and that if the medium becomes possessed, then the medium doesn't have as much control, and that where if it's influenced or overshadowed, okay, and that's more like the spirit person entering into the medium's body. The medium's spirit stands in the back while the spirit person voices their opinion, their message, or whatever, and that. But in order for it to be a smooth transition, that medium's heart rate has to go down quite a bit, be in a complete relaxed, calm state, and so they can concentrate just on what's going on, and so they know what's going on with the help of their guide, and that. Now, Derek Green, he's a very, very good example of doing just that, because he's been doing this for years. And Nikki Still Medium has actually done this too with this guy Jeffrey. Okay, where in Nikki's case, I've seen Jeffrey enter into Nikki's body, voice his opinion, his message, whatever, and then steps back, and then Nikki regains control. Okay, well, in actual fact, and that Nikki always has control. Okay, the controls never left them, but because Nikki trusts Jeffrey so much, okay, it's an easy transition. Sure, it takes energy out of Nikki, like any medium, and that, but because there's cooperation, because there's open communication between the medium and the guide, and that sure, it can be tiring, but there's always communication. Okay, it's just like me and my guide. And then, except my guide refuses to enter into me. Instead, what he does is he interacts with my aura, my auric field. And that's when he, he'll come very, very close to me. And I can tell when he gets really close to me, because I start becoming very emotional. And the closer he gets, the more emotional I get. Okay. But for some mediums, and that, I can tell you that, like, it's usually, it's usually kind of hard to tell how experienced that medium is as to how they react to when a spirit person, enters in their body, because a safe way basically is opening themselves up, allowing the spirit person to enter, okay, with all the controls in place, all the rules in place, because all mediums have to have set rules, ground rules for the spirit person that the guide enforces. And if it's a really aggressive spirit, the gatekeeper, who I almost consider the spiritual security guard, and that keeps the medium safe. Plus, in Derek's case, he uses a word called transfiguration, which is also a good term, because he transfigures himself from Derek Green to whoever the spirit person is. Okay, and so when Derek, gets into a real state of calm, the spirit person comes in, voices their opinion, voices their message, and that. But usually, Derek allows the spirit person to stay in for an extra length of time, in case either a spirit person has more to say, or there's more than one spirit person. that wants to voice their opinion, and that, but because it usually takes a lot of the medium if the spirit person stays inside for a very long time, and that it usually takes a lot out of them, like it really drains them, and that sure they got control, that 9 times out of 10 they do have control, and that there's always that one spirit person that what they do is they jump the medium, they hop in without notice, okay, and they're usually stubborn, aggressive, okay. That kind of attitude, that can actually do damage to the medium, mentally, physically, especially physically with the heart, and when they refuse to leave, that's when you got to bring in the spiritual cavalry, okay. You got to get see, when the medium goes into a transfiguration, and then it's usually very, very important to have what I call your team backup. That in Derek's case, and that last time we did a transfiguration, and that he had Nikki and he had Ellen, and that as a kind of a support team to help him through all this. Okay. Plus, Derek has his guide and his gatekeeper, so he's got spiritual reinforcements, and that. But I've seen Derek; he can go into transfiguration for quite a while. Like 10 or 15 minutes, and he voices the spirit person's opinion, sends the message, but as soon as the spirit person comes out, he's knackered, and that. But with Nikki, I found last time I saw him, like when he challenged Jeffrey, and that Jeffrey entered in very calmly and left very calmly. And then, in which case, it tires out Nikki a little bit, but the message gets through, and I find that there's spiritual harmony, and that even when Jeffrey has sent me messages, like he's always he's never really up close like my guide is, and but the communication with him and me, and that it's always on a brother to brother, like I trust him as much as I trust my other guide, because to me and Jeffrey are incredibly close, just like my guide Stanley and myself. We're incredibly close. We understand each other. We know each other's limits, and whenever I get discouraged or I'm saying, "Oh, I need a topic," now. Jeffrey's always saying, "Brian, calm down. You'll get your message when the timing's right. Calm down." And the funny part is, a short time after that, that's when I get the message. The topic, what have you. And then you see, he has taught me so much when it comes to patience, when it comes to keeping the calm, when it comes to getting any information from him, and he's taught me so much of that. That calmness and serenity is a big part of not only receiving messages but having that relationship, but for some mediums, like I said, there has to be an open trust between yourself and your teammates, and an open trust between yourself and your guide, and that way, if you get multiple people coming in, okay, then there's I always consider crowd control, and so basically they have to wait in line kind of things. I've seen that many people behind Derek waiting in line. I've got another video on that when it comes to spiritual patience, and one other thing too that I found was interesting is every time I see a medium, like whether it's Derek or Nikki or anybody else that is channeling that spirit energy, and and have you ever noticed that their eyes are closed, and that the reason behind that is because the way they look, okay, they're not using your physical eyes, they're using your mind's eye. Okay, that's how they see when they see, okay, They see through the spiritual eye and everything that's going on, not through your eyes. But although sometimes Stanley has seen stuff through my eyes, but not all the time. But when they want to see, and that mind's eye, and that they get the big picture of what's going on around you, and that, and what else? It's almost like either sometimes to me, it almost looks like watching a video or a bunch of pictures or something. And that's something else too, is I've noticed that when it comes to mediums that are taken over and their eyes are shut, and they walk to a certain location, they walk around sometimes, but they don't bump into anything. Of course not. The medium's not looking, the spirit person's looking. So they know where to go. But it's a good idea to have people around you just in case there's an obstacle that the medium might trip over. So it's always good to have safety there. But you see, people are thinking, he's walking around with his eyes shut. Is he nuts? No. He's using the spiritual eye to see where it's going. And then once the spirit person exits the body, and the medium gets full control of the body again, that's when the physical eyes reopen, because the physical body is, you're using the physical body again, so you use your physical eyes, but the spirit body, the spirit eye. Because I know on TV I've seen different mediums actually go into a full transfiguration, if you want to call it that, and they've received so much criticism. They say, "Oh, that's fake. Oh, come on, give me a break. That guy's an actor." Okay, if you think the guy's a fake, if you think the guy's an actor, then tell me one thing. Can you prove that person is faking? Unless you can give me either scientific, spiritual, or emotional, or spiritual proof that he's faking it, do not judge. Because I've seen many people judge mediums, and they think, "Oh, they're all fake, and it's all crap." Prove it. And if you can't prove it, don't judge. Okay? Because I've seen many mediums, whether it's Derek, Nikki, I've been influenced a couple of times, Derek Akora, David Wells, Jackie from Rescue Mediums, and then all these different people have become influenced or possessed, whatever you want to call it. And I think, if you think they're fake, okay, prove it. If you can actually prove it, then okay, we got an argument. Otherwise, don't judge. Okay? Because keep in mind that, even the medium himself has got to be very, very careful, as to what they're doing. Because if you're a medium, but you've never been trained to do transfigurations, okay, it can be dangerous. Okay, it can affect the heart, it can affect the mind, it can affect you physically, and that nothing good can come out of transfiguration of a medium that's never been trained to do it safely, to do it properly. And the two close people that I know right now they not only know what they're doing, but they've been doing it for years, and I can vouch for both of them that it's not fake. Because if they were fake, I'd block them. I'd say, "Hey, I don't want any of this fakery." But because I physically, emotionally, and spiritually feel that, and my guy backed this up, and Jeffrey's agreeing that Derek Green, Nikki Still Medium, those two guys, I can tell you with a shadow of a doubt, there's no trickery, no fakery. And the funny part is that the readings that they do are so accurate that the skeptics are like scratching their head, like, "How did he know that?" There's proven itself that they're not faking it. And that's one of the reasons why, as a medium, I enjoy being in Canada because whenever they go to a location and that I have zero knowledge of the location, building, people, and if I make a link with a spirit person, I don't know the spirit person at all. And I love it when I get something and Derek or Nikki say, okay, that's true. You just confirmed it, backed it up. You see, there's no trickery there. And so anyway, yeah, I just wanted just to mention, oh, and one more thing. I did do this a while back, a few months ago. Now this is back in the 1800s, okay, when this was taking place. Now, unfortunately, oh, pardon me, these mediums, unfortunately, were I don't even know if they're real mediums or not, and that I think, in my opinion, I think they were fake because they wanted fame or whatever. But what they did was they pretend to be in a trance, and then they go like bend down, and when doing that, they take a wad of cheesecloth, shove it in their mouth, come up, and start spewing it out. And their assistant would say, "Oh, that's ectoplasm coming out of their mouths." And that, but there was one or two cases where a doctor or a scientist or someone that was knowledgeable in science, and that grabbed the stuff, the medium called it ectoplasm, but it was cheesecloth, damp cheesecloth. They spread it out and they said, "Hey, that's cheesecloth from the cheese factory. Why is it coming out of your mouth for you? You don't like cheese? And you'd rather have the cloth instead?" That medium said, "Oh, how'd that stuff get in there?" Like, come on. Like to me, that stuff really burns me. Like, it gives mediums a bad name, but luckily, people learned from that kind of thing. And there's certain ways that a medium can channel without needing these little party favors. Because instead of spraying out cheesecloth, why don't you spit out the truth? Spit out the message, and then get it verified. That gives the medium credibility. Where the cheesecloth just makes him looks like an idiot. And so, anyway, people, I got to get this update started on my computer. So, thank you for joining me today. I hope to do a stream on Monday, because on Monday, yay! Vaccine shot, my Moderna, and Beth will be getting her shot too on Monday, and so we're really excited about that. And so after next Monday, my wife and I are fully vaccinated, and we're really excited about that. And so anyway, I better get going, brother. Thank you for joining me. Love you to bits. And that you're an amazing brother. And by the way, for the record, okay, Nikki and I share the same guy, Jeffrey, and I know Nikki from a previous life, from the late 1800s. Okay, so we were best friends in a previous life, but nowadays, and that we're not just best friends, we're soul brothers. And I feel very spiritually and emotionally close to him. Like, and right now, if I was in England right now, I'd give him a big bear hug and say, "Thank you, brother." And but until I can come over to England, I think this is probably the best way that I can do is give him a big hug. And thank you for being my brother. And so Nikki and I have some really interesting stories to tell. And sharing the same guide to me is a privilege. Like, I love Jeffrey like a brother too. And so anyway, people, there you go. So Nikki, bless you for joining, and I'll be posting this in the groups later, because right now I just want to get the update started on the computer here. So anyway, hopefully sometime on Monday, I'll do my live stream. Just I'm not sure when, because I'll give them a shot. So anyway, people, God bless everybody. Thank you for joining me on this stream. And if you like this stream or all the other streams that I do, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps me big time. Okay, because don't forget, I don't get paid for this. See, my pay for doing this is knowing that other people are helped. Other people are encouraged, that they're taught, that they're hopefully blessed. As long as they get something out of it, for the greater good. That's and education too, because you guys get educated, so do I, and so that's the reason why I do it, and because it's my spiritual duty, and I just love it. So anyway, gotta go. So take care of yourself. God bless. Love and light. And